The Trump token is outperforming massively. Now everybody is scratching their head. What's going on here? Let's have a look at the on-chain data, the data most people are not considering to try to figure out whether or not there's an opportunity here. Crypto Twitter is confused. Trump is pumping hard today. Can someone tell why? And just a few days ago, this went through all the traditional finance media. The Trump family is making money with crypto. However, the investors, they tended to lose. There's also speculation around the Trump coin club, as in holders of the Trump token will get invited to a private luxury suite for the World Cup. So for the top 1 to 19 members, there's a suite over here, but this is a tiered program. Now I think all of this is a distraction. Let me show you the data that really matters. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and I did this mainly through active altcoin trading. My track record is linked down below. For the last 2 years, I published my trades in real time, and on average, I made 5% per trade. Held a trade for 27 days, and this is over a sample size of 171 trades. So feel free to check it all out. This is the track record. Of course, the current trades are not shown here on the public page, but you can even search for something like Trump. And you see my track record trading the Trump token. I'm not making money every single time, but historically, this asset clearly has been a money maker for us. Some people are completely given up on any kind of deep analysis. We just see that Trump has birthday soon and maybe that will generate some attention so people buy. But I do think that data matters, and I publish my views on various cryptocurrencies regularly on X as well. If you're using X, formerly known as Twitter, feel free to check out my account. That's over here at Bitcoin Strat. Make sure that you follow the right account and not an impersonator. Now the Trump meme coin clearly had a hard time in terms of price development. We went straight down. Every now and then we do have our rallies though. There is a bit of volatility in this chart, but check out Trump relative to the altcoin market. Now the underperformance is much more consistent, right? Versus the US dollar, we do have some wiggles, but versus the altcoin market, we go straight down and then see a quick function up. And then again, straight down, up, straight down, and currently we are again rallying somewhat. Let's have a look at the recent development. This is now a 4-hour chart. We can see quite clear supports and resistances. And we are approaching our very first resistance soon. Now, where does all of this underperformance come from? The answer is in this chart here. This is the number of floating Trump tokens over time. In other words, there's more and more tokens that unlock and the supply just grows faster than the demand. How quick are those unlocks? This is the data since launch. This is where we are today. 63% of the supply is unlocked. We started out with 200%, so that's more than a tripling of the supply. 1 year from now, the supply will have 4x. But it's not explaining the entirety of this price development, because this is the long-term price chart. This is the long-term market cap chart. The market cap of the Trump token also went down very drastically from more than 7 billion down to only $500 million. When it's all just token dilution, then the market cap chart should actually be somewhat stable. As we see here, for WorldCoin, for example, WorldCoin is also highly inflationary. But have a look at the WorldCoin price. That's going down because there's more and more WorldCoin tokens getting issued. So if it's all just token inflation, the market cap chart shouldn't go down as much as it does for the Trump token. What I think what's really going on here is that a lot of the Trump supply had been bought by the market makers and the centralized exchanges at the very beginning during launch time. Now that supply over time has to get sold off because there's less and less interest in Trump. And so it's not just the Trump family that's cashing out here, it's the Binances and Maxis of this world as well. Have a look at the social metrics. This now comes from Luna Crush. We can see how the mentions in social media trend down. The price is in red, the mentions, that's the bar chart in the background. Here is the social engagement. Here is the number of creators that talk about Trump. So it's not just the price that's going down long term, it's also that there's less and less attention on the asset. Still, we see it pumping right now. And why is that? I think it's because of introduction of new leverage into the asset. Have a look at the trading volume on the spot market in the last 24 hours. We had 120 million worth of spot trading on Upbit. Now compare that with the perpetual futures. Here we had almost 700 million worth of trading volume, and that was on Binance. This should not be surprising. Most people that are betting on the Trump token on the derivatives market actually anticipate falling prices. The funding rate is negative, so the shorts have to pay the longs in order to bet on falling prices. With this recent rally, we do see more trading volume on the perpetual futures. And there is positive correlation here, right? When the trading volume shoots up, that's also when the price tends to go up. When the trading volume comes back down, that's also when the price tends to follow. So why do those short-term rallies happen every now and then? And why are they so fast? I think this is the classic case of a short squeeze. The vast majority of traders are betting on a falling price, rightfully so. Long term, the price is going down. However, if there's too many people that bet on a falling price, it might make sense short term for the market makers and for the manipulators to buy up the token, to force liquidate all of those people that bet on falling prices. If the price shoots up quickly and violently enough, and there are enough short traders that don't have a tight stop loss, then this just rolls into cascade. More and more shorts get liquidated. That then gets balanced out on the spot market, pushing up the price even higher. That's what tends to happen time and time again. The market consensus is that Trump goes down over time, but every now and then we see those bursts of short-term manipulation. And this is just yet another one of them. Have a look at the short liquidations. It is going up. And with that, of course, the open interest is also going up. Once the open interest comes back down, then of course, the price will follow yet again. Now, I like to use trading rules in order to time things like this, right? If we want to enter a short, we have to make sure that we do this after the short squeeze has ended. The price can potentially rally further. If we are betting on a falling price and then it goes up further, we have a problem. At some point, this will come down. But when will that happen? Now, here's Bitcoin Strategy Analytics. That's the backtesting platform of this channel. So the premium members have access to this. You can backtest pretty much any token. We are now backtesting the official Trump token. And we're trying to figure out what's the best golden and death cross. So crossing of two moving averages historically for Trump. So we simply want to get a rule that historically worked very well for trading the Trump token. Here is the combination. So we've got the slow moving average at the bottom. We've got the fast moving average here on the left. And the best combination is a very short-term moving average combo. 4-day plus 2-day SMA. So this is then how the backtest looks over time. The Trump token is here in gray. The value measured in US dollars, that's the blue line. The value measured in Trump tokens, that's the purple line. So very nice long-term constant outperforming strategy. And we are also including the trading fees and the financing costs. And so this is where we are with that strategy right now, the 4-day and the 2-day SMA. As long as the shorter term moving average is above the longer term moving average, we should still be cautious with shorting. Once we get the death cross though, then it might make sense to bet on falling prices, like it was over here. We get the death cross and Trump comes back down. And it happened time and time again with every short squeeze. If you were to short already over here, you'd be in trouble. But if you wait until the death cross hits, things look better. Check out this one over here. That's in April 2025. We had our rally, then a break of 1 day, then it continued rallying, then we got our death cross, and then it tended to go down from $15 at the time to $11. And so that's fundamentally how I bet on most altcoins. That's why the history looks the way it does over the last 2 years. This orange line here, by the way, that's the positions that are currently open, which I have to blur for this YouTube video. But yeah, every trade can be 100% verified because all of the notifications are here behind those dates over here. We just click on that. Then we get the Telegram page. And this is when we shorted, for example, the Luna token, right? We went short once we got the death cross, and then subsequently we closed that once we got the golden cross. And so my plan with Trump is to follow the exact same. We wait for this rally to finish first. We wait for the momentum to cool off. Once we get the death cross, and in this case, it's a 2-day versus 4-day simple moving average, then we enter the short. And again, this worked very well for Trump in the past. It doesn't work every single time, but on average, this is a nice money maker. So you could, of course, just copy trade what I do. I publish this in real time to premium. You could also go a bit deeper. So there is this additional new mode on Bitcoin Strategy Analytics that looks at potential trading candidates. So all of those assets are available on the perpetual futures, in this case, hyper liquid. And we are looking for the volatility expansion. How much did the price fluctuations increase recently? If that's a lot, then we might have a short squeeze. So Trump is currently at number 1. At the top is the price. At the bottom is the volatility change. And we can see when we are high on volatility, that's when we tend to see a turnaround in the price. So this is simply a nice overview to check what could be a potential trade opportunity. Whenever volatility expands quickly, that might be an opportunity. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. There's also a 7-day money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first 7 days. I'll refund you. No questions asked. There's really no risk for you. Once you join, I will also send you my favorite trade. So you simply just set up that trade. It's explained how that works in the tutorial section. And then of course, after that, you can just follow the live announcements of whatever I am currently doing. Again, I think the track record speaks for itself. If you don't have time for manual copy trading, there's also automated copy trading, but that's available only for the annual members. Last year, we made annualized 44%. This year, we are at 26%. I'm targeting to get the 44% this year as well. But again, that's for the annual subscribers. It's probably best to start off monthly. Get your first results, get your first profit. And then if you like to, you can reinvest that profit and we grow our capital together. So right now, given the back test, it's probably too risky to already enter a short position on Trump. But I do think it's very likely that this will turn around. The question is only, will this be at this resistance over here, or will Trump outperform by another 25% and then turn around, or will it potentially even outperform by another 36% and then turn around? Probably it's going to turn around at some point across those resistances. But the best selling indicator, I believe, is the death cross between the 2-day and the 4-day simple moving average. That historically worked extremely well for Trump. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish here regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. Helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you on Premium. Link to that pops up here on the screen. Thanks for watching. Cheers.